Greetings, Gary.
Good afternoon to you, Colin, and everybody out there. Hola.
Race fans, motorsport lovers, and others. You know who you are. You know who you are. So, Gary, it's been quite an eventful afternoon.
It has.
We've moved from place to place. Apparently, our weather, in upgrading our services and all the rest of it, you'll notice there's a whole lot of things happening today.
Yes.
So for those of you who can spot the new developments, let us know in the comments as you spot them. There is a prize at the end, and we will announce it live while we will announce the prize winners live. So Gary, this is number 39, episode 39 of Waved Yellow, and I've called it Ducks.
Ducks?
Ducks.
Why are we going back?
No.
He's gonna get
No,
upset.
no. It's a different animal. There's a goose and a duck as two different things.
Okay.
This is about ducks. And why is it about ducks? All a couple has told us there's a mahoosive storm coming over our shoulders here. We're actually sitting at Swartkorps Raceway, and the reasons for that will become apparent relatively shortly as we go ahead. So there's a storm coming and ducks like water. But the biggest reason for wanting to call this ducks today is that a duck looks all nice and serene on top of the lake.
Okay.
And it just looks like stuff happens. But underneath, it is paddling away. And Gary, that's kind of pretty much where you and I are. I'm calm, you paddling. Production has done some magnificent things, but enough of that. So,
Just quick, you got another toy.
I did. I've got a whole
yes.
lot of
Oh,
toys.
yes.
This is from Stuart. Stuart, thank you. Now I can see, and I can see the car in front of me, Gary, clearly. That is a Nissan RB390 C1, but we're going to talk about that later. It's there for our technical insert. So let's go with what was.
We've just had a little rap across the knuckles.
From who?
From Uncle Simon Murray.
Why? Because he's shaking and we baking.
No, because he says missed testing, and then underneath that it says, where were you guys this AM?
Right, so, Mr. Murray.
No, I'm going to explain to him what happened.
No, explain very carefully about production was notified. Our transport department arrived. You explain. Explain. Go back.
We made communication with a certain party yesterday who indicated to me they were going to go testing today.
Indicated. And measures.
And yeah, normally on a Wednesday when testing happens from like 1 o'clock onwards. And then I was informed that we will get back to you.
And they never did.
So Ricky, we're still waiting for you to get back to us, but we're here anyway.
But okay, so now, do you think Ricky's in Bedford View, Tashes?
Right.
Because that's where it goes, eh?
Right
so
now.
welcome. Simon, I'm glad you could join us. Shake and bake. Remember?
And he's laughing like hell. Simon, thanks very much for joining. We really appreciate your support. But we will catch you Friday morning.
Remember, winners get paid. And winners, you know the rest of it. So, now I can see what's going on here because production give me this. You see what I mean, Gary? But then, young Stewie White gave me this so I can see. So, Stu, thank you very much. Now I can see here it says, in the first thing, it says running order. It's typed, and I've got my notes. So, running order, NASCAR this weekend, Texas, where everything's bigger and betterer, and Texan, for the first time in a long time, the Republicans
won something.
I don't know, the Democrats won in Texas, and you're not supposed to do that. But more importantly, in Texas was Kevin Harvick, drilled everybody on Sunday night. It's the fastest speedway that they go to, going into turn 1, 206 miles an hour, 208 miles an hour, awesome stuff. Harvick has had some issues recently in terms of closing. He used to be Kevin the closer, and finally I tell you, the guy was absolutely magnificent. So I really, really enjoyed that. There was a fast, and the notes that production put here, it says, fast, late yellow, great restart. Well done, Kevin Harvick, you're the man. Then there was the gold 400, they tell me. It was rough and rocky, pretty much like the Rocky Horror Show.
Yeah. Now, just talking about that, just for those who watched the show last week, boy, look at this.
Which is why.
Bragging again.
Check this. Check
this.
Champions, brother.
Champions.
So, Gary, you were saying? Sorry, before I interrupted.
I want to know, they're sponsoring you tonight.
No.
And what's with this over here?
Oh, geez, that's my pen. Apparently, somebody said, so this is my pen because I fidget.
Just do me a favor. Just point us further at the camera so people can see the name on it. No, further. Go like this. Go.
No, I'm going to do the further a remote.
Okay.
I'm going to bring the camera to me. Come to I, Mr. Camera. Let's see. Ooh, you see it works. Boom.
You and your remote control. I've got to
tell you
sort
what.
you out.
This is called positive thinking.
Yeah.
So this is the pen that Gary gave me. It's got a name on it, and we're doing a bit of testing on that. So what were you saying, Gary, before I rudely interrupted again?
Yeah, for those that watched the show last week, we were sitting in a beautiful
A workshop.
workshop, yeah. We were sitting very close to Shake and Bake, Simon. And Greg Milani's laughing at us. Oh, okay. And Cedric Fryer's laughing. Well, thanks very much, guys.
Well, at least we've got actually watching,
And we were
which I love.
Yeah, and we were talking about basically cars that would have competed in the Gold 400. I said would have. They decided not to because they went to somewhere else this weekend. Well, we'll get there later.
Gary,
Yes.
I want you to take a deep breath,
Yes.
align your inner chakras, and focus, because you and I, we've gone off script already. And you know that the rest of the production team sitting in Centurion, where the storm just blew the whole place.
Yeah, back to
so
script.
now we've got to go back to, no, it's the running order. This is unscripted. Nobody can script me. Right, so the Gold 400 and a couple of championships were decided. So to
These oaks won.
Janelle de Villiers is your off-road South African cross-country champion again. So now he's the guy who won 7 championships in a row in touring cars, in a Nissan Primera, then a whole bunch of championships in off-road. So there's a bit of a debate between him and Ginger about the successful drivers. So they won the prologue or the qualifying race on the Friday, and then they just went and they took it easy and had a full-on go with Henk Latergan.
Yes.
Hans' son, who got to the end, finished, and did well. So, Henk, it is Henk, yeah. Henk wins the FIA class championship. Janelle wins the overall championship.
Yeah.
And then apparently, second was Johan van Staden and Mike Lawrenson in the Elf Duster that was made by Stewie in the WCT World Class Racing Team workshop. I really have to concentrate when I say that.
I can see
I'll
this
say-
going to lead us
And
somewhere
these
later.
are the guys, they in Namibia, but we'll talk about what's happening in Namibia a little bit later. We had great conversation. They sent full updates. Gary Bertholdt and Jeff Minott won Class T in another WCT team, a car in the Toyota Hilux, and Lance Woolridge, Ward Huxtable in the Neil Woodridge Motorsport. Ford Ranger won the Class T championship. So that was the rally. It was the last one of the year, and now all focus turns to Dakar. So in homage to the champions of South African cross country, I wear my Toyota Gazoo Racing South Africa t-shirt with pride.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And I don't blame you. I mean, you've been there. You've done it.
Well,
not
I
quite
didn't.
in a race car, but you've done Dakar.
I watched other people. I ran around. I tried to get data hooked up in South America, which is probably a major challenge. It is a major challenge. But yeah, it was there. It was an awesome experience. So that then puts to bed another
2018 season of
South African off-road race, cross-country racing.
Yes.
It was quite interesting because I wanted to get an update, and so I typed into Google. You know, Google's my friend, and most nights I just get updated. It happens overnight. I mean, sort of, it's a wireless function, but I didn't get the updates last night. So I went to Google and I typed in there cross-country racing South Africa, and it sent me to athletics.org.za, and I thought, how cool is this? The South African Cross-Country Racing Commission has done magnificent deals, and you know that Janelle is a proper mountain bike rider as well.
Yeah.
So I thought,
Did you know he's also a great BMX racer?
I didn't, but Gary, you know what I love about life is I've just learned something new.
Yeah.
So that's my fact for the day.
Yeah.
Right, moving along swiftly. And now we're going to get to a part where you and I had a bit of a disagreement earlier.
Yes.
But I was just winding you up.
Again.
Because this morning, to great fanfare and all the rest of it, and to the sound of Creedence Clearwater Revival and their finest song, F1 announces that they're going to Vietnam in 2020. Grand Prix of Hanoi, they've got half a road track, half a built track. And so the lovers of motorsport in South Africa said, oh yeah, Vietnam can do it, South Africa can do it. We can have a Grand Prix. Ooh, let's do it. So, now, this is... Guys, if there was a Grand Prix here, I'd be the first there, and I think it would be absolutely fantastic and magnificent. But I implore you, dear South African government, and this doesn't only come, there's been a lot of noise about an SA Grand Prix for a while. And the noise refuses to go away. And one of our sources who we had an interaction with last night said that from their point of view, and they're sitting in England, they believe that the SAGP will be announced provided that we have the same state president as we've got now after the elections next year. So if Cyril is in, we've got a Grand Prix, because apparently there's a whole big move in the government where they think that having a Grand Prix is magnificent, and the costs on the tourism can do it. Now, yes, we know that having a Grand Prix is the best thing in the world for a country's tourism. But with the current political situation that we've got in this country, please don't spend money, dear South African government, on a Grand Prix. I did just say that. I'm advocating for right now, fix the education and fix the maths and science and circles and all the rest of it. So that's my rant for the day. Right, next thing.
Listen, I've got a comment here from Reggie Roots.
The Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
Hold on, now Reggie he's now making an attack this year, December, on his rubber duck. It's not quite a rubber duck. This is a proper off-road racing machine that they're doing.
Off-road racing machine or water?
Well, it's off-road, it's in the water. For Reggie, if it's off-road, it could be in the dirt, it could be in the water, it could be everywhere. So they're doing the boat race, and Reggie right down there with the name of the boat race
well,
is.
after this comment, you might not say anything.
Okay.
He says, yeah, you oaks look better zoomed right out. Okay, Reggie.
Now, Reggie always says the nicest things. Now, I've got very fond memories going back to Cape Town when Red Bull first was introduced to the country. Reggie will know he's my boy. Right. So now I'll use...
Thanks for using the fair caker.
Well, thanks for giving it to me, Stu. At least I can... It's a na caker. A fair caker is a thing that you can want to have to look far away. This thing I can want to have to look close by. So that takes us from... That's F1 dead.
Yes. And
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Just before you go to the next...
Just before.
Because
we're going to the next item.
Yes.
And this is a coded message.
Yeah.
This is to item number 3 on our running order, to control.
Well, as long as you do, because nobody else is going to do anything because it's right in front of you.
No, we're going to go there.
But I just want to say hi to Calvin van der Linde.
Hey, well done, dude.
Well done, brother.
You and Little Bit.
Did you know that
probably I did know, but tell me.
No, but young Sheldon van der Linde, according to ADAC GT Masters, was rated as one of the most successful drivers in ADAC GT Racing 2018.
You alluded to this.
Oh, I did.
So that's just another reason why Audi South Africa should bring one of the GT3 cars, even if it's a last year's car, that's parked in storage in Stuttgart, in wherever the Audis are made, and bring it to South Africa so the Germans can go and race. So that's that. Right, now. Because this is my lapel mic. I put it here, Gary, so that I can use my hands.
Okay.
Because for our next thing, we tried to add to lives, and I was asked a question over the weekend about what a car does and how it moves and what is a pitch and yaw and heave. Heave is normally what you do on a Saturday morning after a Friday night when you wake up. And okay, but a car doesn't do that. So I pulled out one of my models that has probably had a rough life. It's a high mileage model. It's done a lot of work. I love this car. It's a Nissan RB390, and this was a C1 car. For those of you who may remember, C1 racing was absolutely super duper back in the day, and they were road cars that were sort of modified just a little bit, and they went F-fast. So this is probably an extreme version of this is where the LMP1 prototypes are going to get to. So we thought that we'd just bring this in just to show and illustrate some of the terms that we're going to use going forward. And so on the ground, when a car is running in the ground, the first one is rake. Rake is not what you do in the garden with leaves. Rake is the difference between the ride height at the front of the car and the back of the car. So a car with positive rake means that the back is up in the air, like a Red Bull Formula One car, and negative rake is when the front is in the air. Now you put it in the rake like this, so normal positive rake, and in varying degrees and in varying sensitivities, and we'll talk about some of the how sensitive proper real racing cars are. And you'll run it like this so that you develop a little bit more stability of the platform and also to generate more downforce. So now your car's running along the road and you go over a bump and the car will go up and down like this. And this is your Saturday morning function, Gary, heaving. So the car goes up and down on over a normal bump. But it can also be when you're going faster and faster, and because you've got the aerodynamics of the wing at the front and the splitters at the wing at the back and splitter at the front, it'll pull the car down into the ground. So the high load gives you a lot of heave, so it pulls the car down, and you need an element, a heave element, to keep it off the ground and stop it from bottoming, like some cars did in East London. So some guys call it a heave element, the other one a third element. Essentially, it's another spring that adds stiffness to control the ride height. So that's heave. Then if we look at the car from the front, and just, I mean, most people know, and there's always these axes that the car moves around. So you've got the vertical axes, the horizontal, and the side axes. So when the car moves around this line, think of it as you took a spike and just shoved it straight up the car's backside, and so the car moves around like that. That's roll. So normally when a car goes around the corner, it's around the corner. If Reggie's driving it, it's like sideways around the corner. Okay, so that's your roll over there, and then your heave is up and down. And then when you arrive at the corner and you brake and the front goes down, that is pitch. So this movement around this axis here is pitch. And then we come to the other one. Now imagine that you're just looking at it from the... Is that a hard life? So now for those of you paying attention, does this car have push rods, or what kind of rear suspension has it got? So when we stick a spike down the roof of the car and the car rotates like this, that would be yaw. So it could be, and from the front you'll see it, this is a brilliant twin turbo V6. This has got the VG35 V6 in it. Terence Marsh will know because... so when you turn into the corner and the car moves around this axis over here, it's yawing as it goes in and out of the corner. So those are our basic terms for today: heave, pitch, roll, and yaw. And we'll leave it at that.
Yaw.
This week's Vehicle Dynamics 101. So now I'll get my microphone up.
Our old science and maths, and while you're getting that out, I'm just I'm just going to say hi to Ricky Gianrocco. Hola, senor. To Charlotte Renz, who just joined us.
Why are you so late?
Yeah, I don't know. And Ted Bobby is online, eh?
How's Ted? We were talking about you, Ted, and Dakar, and because those things are coming up again.
His ears were ringing.
Yeah, my ears ring, but they call it tinnitus.
We shall be on the telephone, Ted.
Right. So that's our race car dynamics.
Yes.
Which brings us right up to date.
Yeah.
And you see, the other thing I've got to do is we now have a timing issue. So I can read the clock on top of this thing. This is a magnificent piece. I wonder if I could... So we move swiftly and straight into what's coming up and this weekend. And the reason that we're at Swartkops, in the background, you'll see the G&H Transport Extreme Supercars transporters of Stradale and Scribanti racing right next to each other.
A little bit further down that direction, all right, you'll find the G&H Transporters just down there. That's what I've mentioned.
You know what's so funny? Because now with this high technology, you've got monitors here. So there's a whole lot of technology going on here. We've got a production team and a technical director and But anyway, it's great fun, and if you see some of the improvements in the show, let us know, because we're working quite hard on it and we're proud of it. So this weekend, G&H Transport Supercars, basically the championship in all the classes has been wrapped up. So GD3 or Class A, Charles Ranges wins it from Marc du Toit. Marc du Toit had that horrible crash
Yeah.
last weekend, or two, destroyed the white Ferrari. Basically, that was trying a little bit too hard through turn one, step a wheel on the thing oversteered, and boom, into the inside of the wall. It's horrible to see a car like that. Hey, Jonathan Dutoy also in a Ferrari from Ricky Giancarlo. So Ricky, we need to see the Lamborghini. We wanted to see it testing, but clearly Tasha's was a little bit more important than we were. Class A, that was that. Class B is Anthony Blunden.
Yes.
In my short friend in the BMW now.
Anthony Blunden's on the BMW.
I mean, he's in the cleanest, whitest Porsche, absolutely
the
magnificent.
car.
Gary, butterflies and all the rest of it. I was looking for the photographs that were coming across the screen, but clearly they didn't. So, and Blunden won it from Alwyn Steenkamp, and then Class C.
The boss man.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
El Patron, Jimmy Giancarlo, 105 points from Faisal Kutsia in the BMW on 31. 105 plays 31. They basically got 3 times the points. Magnificent. And then Johan Hartang in the Z from Marius Jackson.
In the Z?
Yeah, the Z.
Ah.
350 Z.
Yeah,
Nissan.
Lee Phillips will know what that is.
Yeah. So that was those are basically the championships that have run out.
Ricky reckons you'll bring coffee on Saturday morning.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Fine.
How's it, Charles? Nice to see you online.
I've got to, apparently the filter system that they upgraded in my mind, and it's actually working because I was about to. Right, so behind us you'll see 2 transporters. On the one side you've got the Scribanti transporter, and the other side the Stradale transporter. There were some issues between these guys going back. They seem to have buried the hatchet and not in each other's back. They were kind of talking to each other, and they don't swear too much when they talk about each other. So that rivalry is going to be fantastic. Franco ran the Porsche last week, 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. Last race here at Swartkorps, he walked both races. Gary, that was
that
magnificent.
Car is
that
awesome,
thing is,
and it's great to see him finishing races for a change.
The Oaks get upset when you say Franco finishing races for a change.
Yeah, well, the guys at Franco Scribanti know. I mean, they've had a problem. I mean, it didn't work.
Gary, pedal, dig yourself out of that hole that you got yourself into. So that was Q2, or was it Q1 that was going there?
Yeah.
So we expect that battle to go. Last weekend in...
Straight coffee, guys. Straight coffee, nothing else.
Yeah. Last weekend in East London, the Lamborghini broke its engine mountings, and I say that euphemistically. Charles drove the thing off the road, moved the curb, and broke the engine mountings.
Engine mountings, correct.
So the engine mountings had a non-ideal outcome. So that's all been repaired, and that car been tweaked and modified. And the shake and bake driver, Ricky Bobby, is going to be here in his Lamborghini as well. A GT3 car, Simon Murray. We were hoping that Sam Hammond would bring the McLaren out to play, but there's supposedly a car. Come on, Sam, you and your team are supposed to get this thing sorted, but okay, we can get there.
Mr. Terry Wilford, I know you're going to watch this, so
Yeah.
Let us know whether the car's going to be entered this weekend or not. Please.
And some other cars that I'm looking forward to, Gary.
Yes?
Tata Corello in the 650 McLaren.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to have a bit of an uphill battle to stay with the 2 top guys. And it looks like Arangis is bringing out the Aston Martin, which will be really cool. So this is the showdown.
The grand finale.
Yeah, this is the Franco wanted to have the Porsche have a go at the Aston, and Charles doesn't want to lose his unbeaten record in the Aston. So that rivalry, that is going to be a proper special race. But we also need to, who else was there? Tata Corello in the
Daytona.
and my notes have just gone, just hold on a minute. And we've got Franco Di Matteo in the Alpha. That's the one. How could I miss that? Because I didn't have my glasses in my hand. So Franco's done some more work on the car. He's got it a little fettled and sorted, and expect him to be a lot quicker. They had an issue last weekend where somebody thought it was a hell of a funny to push him out of the way. Pushing and bumping deliberately in racing doesn't work. Anyway, so that car is going to be great. And then Tuka Mecanicanos, excuse me if I got it wrong, is bringing his AMG DTM, the silver Merc, out to play. So Tuka, welcome back. It's going to be great to see. And then Davy Olafira's, the baby BM, I think, is throwing a temper tantrum.
So he's going to be driving something else.
A Z4M. I can only assume that's a hairdresser's car. A Z4, isn't it?
Well, Davy can tell us whether it's a hairdresser's car, but I think the guy that owns it might get a bit upset.
But that's okay. We know that people get upset with us, and the rain is coming. So that's the GNH Transport Extreme Supercars. This weekend, Swartkorps Raceway, do yourself a favor, come here. It's the cars are quick. They enter 1 and 5 proper quick, and or 1 and 4. Backstraight is absolutely magnificent. So that's that. And then
we come
going forward.
Yeah, what else is happening this weekend?
Well, it actually starts from tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this is the cue for our production department to start rolling the pics of the Tara Rally.
Tara as in not the mental Tara, hey?
Well,
you know,
some of the oaks
Tara.
there are proper mental. There's just from our update of testing this morning.
Look at those guys sitting on themselves. They're supposed to be prepping cars.
Swakopmund having a chill. This thing here is Japie van Niekerk's S2000 Ford Fiesta rally car. This car is winner of 3 of the last 4 times.
Do you know that car was driven by Mr. Cronje, Mark, with an M?
And it's won 3 of the last 4 races. Yes, and multiple South African championships.
And it also went to go and play in WRX last year.
It did, and Henny de Klerk in the Treasury won Volkswagen Amarok. Now, this is a picture from him winning in Dakar last year. Don't you love the technology, how it just works?
It is.
And stuff fades in and fades in.
Yeah, for those.
Our technical director, I owe him a cool drink for that, because that was magnificent. Great work. Thanks, guys.
Not according to his comment. He says he wants more, but then he knows your cool drink, so he's quite happy.
Right, so interesting here that Terence Marsh has taken some of his Nissan trucks up there. Now, he's built a new one that we were going to go and have a look at this last weekend at the Rocky Horror Show, but we didn't get there for a number of technical issues, but it's okay. We will try and get into the workshop and have a look at it. This is the IRS, or independent class, FIA class car. So the engine is moved back. It's got carbon and stuff, and it's faster and lighter. So they've taken the car up. Now, this Tara Rally, it's the 40th.
What does Tara stand for?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and our research department didn't get back to me on the results of it, so
Isn't
I don't know.
Tara or something?
Gary, you're guessing now, and we do not guess. Okay. We have to have our shows independently checked. Now, it used to be the Total Tara Rally, and then 3 years ago there was an issue with Oaks throwing their toys out their cot, so Total Namibia withdrew, but they are back for the 40th running of the Tara Rally. It might not be called the Total Tara Rally, but this basically goes from Swakopmund to Windhoek across some fast flowing roads. It's not ideal for a cross-country racing car. But it's traditional that the South African Brigade take the cross-country cars up there and go and have a go. So Japie van Niekerk has taken this car to this rally, and they've won 3 of the 4 last rallies in it. It's quick as hell. This is one of the cars that when we spoke to Stu Thompson about how much they liked, the cars they liked running, this was the one that really was one of his absolute favorite. It's a proper pucker rally car. The roads are smooth. They should walk it. But you know, the thing about motor racing that is absolutely fantastic is the reason we have a race is because you never know what the result is. That's why we call this show Waved Yellow. You never know
what's going to
happen. Have
happen.
to be prepared. Keep your eyes wide open. So I expect them to win, but the off-road vehicles, the Amarok, Henny's Treasury 1 car, which is, I mean, he's really having a full-on go with this, and some Navaras. They are crowd pleasers of note. They sound V8s. They just sound lekker. They go faster, and they're magnificent. So, really looking for that. NAD is the New Africa Developments.
Yes.
property developers, basically, they find places, they build it, and they sell it, and move on, and do it again.
Yeah.
And
that,
Gary?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Or fortunately?
All good things normally come to an end, so just sort of...
I'm just going to... Yeah, you carry on.
Okay, fine.
No, I'm just checking the timing.
Just to everybody that's been online, awesomely thanks for being with us. We really enjoy bringing the show to us. If there's things you'd like us to get into discuss, don't be scared to put comments in. Even if it's 5 days down the line, you can still go to the show and still put in comments. We read every comment. For those of you that I didn't mention or we didn't mention during the show, we will send you comments back, direct messages, etc., etc. But guys, those of you in Johannesburg, get yourselves down to Swartkops Raceway this weekend. It is the grand finale of the Extreme Festival, incorporating the G&H Extreme Supercars.
G&H Transport Extreme Supercars. You know, Gary,
That's why you're here.
Oh, that's why I'm here. They are the biggest movers of explosives in South Africa. So for those of you who are looking to move explosives, you've got a couple of alternatives. One of them is G&H Transport, and I would really recommend them. They're a little bit safer than chucking it in the back of your bakkie.
They are. So just before we go, Uncle Henny van der Linde's online.
Hello, Wim.
Thank you, Wim.
Thanks that you watch us, and to everyone else, thank you for your support. Thanks for the feedback. You brighten up our day and make us happy. And Reggie, when you're up in the land of where people of the smoke, come and say hello to us, and we'd love to. Do you know how cool it would be if we could have Reggie Roots on the show with us?
Reggie, get yourself up here, brother.
That boat race is the Augustus. They did it last year. They had a bit of it. It goes from like PE to Cape Town along the beach. The oaks are they're proper loony, which suits Reggie down to the ground, and he's going to have a full-on go. So
we've just been corrected by Cedric Fryer. It says, guys, it's the 50th total Tara Rally. It's what
he's actually right.
Our fans online are saying. So I'm just
because let me just make a note to production here on my Dunlop bright yellow pen. Thanks, Dunlop. Did you notice that plug?
Yeah. Listen,
thanks, Dunlop.
Mommy van der Linde has just joined us. How's it, Bernardine?
So, yes, 50th Tara Rally. It's for the crazies. It's Swakopman to Windhoek. That's enough, Gary. Some say we watch. It's been magnificent. Thanks for joining us. On that note, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Gary. Thanks a lot, Hank.